Hello Virgo, this is Victoria and I'm here with your February tarot forecast. As always, I'll be looking at your love life and personal space, at your career and workspace, and then I'll get you guidance from your personal interest to yourself. And we'll get the guidance from the universe and how to best utilize the energy of the month of February. I will begin with a quick oracle message. Actually, this is the Angels and Ancestors deck. We'll see what the theme of the month of February is for you, and then we'll proceed with tarot. Remember that there's readings of the sun, moon, and rising Virgo. So if you're watching this for a sun sign, please check out videos for your other placements as well. And if you're new, please check out the description box for more information on my content and services. All right, I already have a card that flipped out and fell down. We have actually a sunny day, as you can see, but it's so cold. There's still a lot of sun and ice on the roads, so not the great time to be outdoors in this weather, I'll be honest with you. And we expect more snow in the next few days. Anyway, Virgo and of course, if you enjoy what I'm doing, please don't forget to hit that like button. If you're new, please subscribe to the channel. You've got a message from the hunter today. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. The sun just started turning around, so I guess this is how you'll have to experience me. Ooh. Oh, maybe like this. Yeah, this is better. Track down your fears and desires. Very interesting, right? It's the fears and desires. It's like, what are you, oh wow, this is so cool. What do you fear and what do you actually want to create, right? Maybe make 2 lists, I would suggest. And also remember a little adage about the, in the spiritual circles at least, the idea that it's not really about creating a lot of new stuff in your life or teaching yourself a bunch of new skills. It's more about removing the burden, removing the hurt, the fear, the trauma, to allowing the authentic you to blossom and to come out, especially in the question of passions and wants and gifts and skills. You don't need to reinvent the wheel with that. So if you're not sure, I would say start with eliminating fears and healing past traumatic scenarios, and then the passion, the gifts, what do you want to do, that all will emerge as a result. All right, so for your personal space, you've got, let's see if I can do this. Yeah, maybe not. So you have the 3 of Swords to begin with. It's okay. You have 6 of Wands, one of my favorite cards in this deck, by the way. And you have the World. This is Capricorn energy. Could be dealing with Capricorn. Then for your career space, you have Death. That's Scorpio energy. 5 of Pentacles. And 4 of Cups. And finally, the advice, you have Queen of Swords. Very adventurous Queen of Swords in this deck. You have King of Wands and Queen of Pentacles. Lots of kings and queens. You could be dealing with a lot of people, actually. Or you may need to ask other people for support, or, giving you some guidance or some ideas for where you want to be. At the bottom of the deck, Queen of Wands, actually. I'm not going to count this as a couple with King of Wands just because this is not the main read. This is an underline card, but I like this in terms of discovering what your passion is. Look at that sunflower that's projects so much light on her, right? It's an umbrella, but also kind of like a projector, right? So you are learning what makes you tick, what gets you excited, especially if you are in public, if you're with others. How do you want to be seen, or what do you like doing? Okay, so for your personal space, you have 3 of Swords, 6 of Wands, and the World. The World could be either about literally going traveling somewhere, seeing the world, or it can be closing some kind of a cycle that has been around for a while. which based on what we started with feels like it's the second part that is coming into focus for you in February, right? There is a chance to create some kind of a beautiful connection with someone. This is a very different Six of Wands of what it usually is for those who know tarot, right? To me, it's a very much a symbiotic connection, and I don't want to go too deep on that route, but let's just say I've seen this card quite a few times. And to me, more than anything, it is about how unlikely, scenarios can happen, and people who are not your usual type, which is again one of the things that I started with at the beginning, right? Choosing someone who is not your usual type could be one of the ways to find that special someone, right? So think of improv theater during this time. One of the main rules of the improv theater is you can't say no. And technically, practically, what it means is whatever the previous person was saying, what kind of setup and premise they gave you, you're supposed to work with that and continue the thought, kind of like the yes and, right? There are no buts, there are no no's. So think of it that way. You cannot just close the door on someone just because they don't seem like a likely partner for you based on your usual criterion or who you've been with before, right? Give that person a chance, see what they bring to the table and what they bring out in you, because there will be something important there to look into. It may hurt at first just because either the person obviously is triggering what you were trying to forget, to bury, or you thought you've already healed, right? It doesn't necessarily mean there's something wrong with them. It just means that there is unhealed pain that you could look at this time. You're ready for it. And you can make different choices on how you decide to handle it, right? If you still feel like it's connected to the person, you can talk to that person about it. And that would bring, by the way, that would be a big progress on the healing front too. Even if it will sound something like, right now I'm so jealous of da-da-da-da-da and what you're doing and what you said and like how this turned out, right? And you may even realize even before you say it that that's not cool to say, or it's not reasonable, or it doesn't make me look good in front of this new potential partner of mine. But that's not the point. The point is that you're going into that next level of authenticity and what's it called? Authenticity and showing up with who you really are, what you stand for, in that raw form, the good, the bad, and the ugly. None of us are perfect, right? And then that could be a good test also for where that person is and if they're ready for it. For your workspace, you have Death, Five of Pentacles, Four of Cups. All of these are quite melancholic energies, I will say that. Could feel a little emotional, overly emotional during this time. And we don't really like to show our emotions at work, whether it's our own business or we work for someone else, doesn't matter. So it may feel even more tense because of that. You may feel bored, you may feel like, again, life is unfair, or you're being passed up for a promotion or a raise. You deserve a bigger bonus than what they gave you, right? This is bonus time. We're in that territory, the annual bonuses, I mean. Something like that. But what this energy is also pushing you into is the transformational zone. And yes, for some it would mean death in terms of like you realize this job is over. I apologize for the noise. It's the dog. He's behind the scenes and he is ready for his walk. So I'm going to do that after I'm done with the reading, of course. It might mean that this job is over, this project is over for you, maybe even this career is over for you, because suddenly it becomes clear that you're only in these energies when you're here. You're bored, you feel unhappy for one reason or another. For others, it will just mean that it needs a rebrand, a refresh, a reset of where you've been and how you've been approaching your tasks, your projects, your goals, right? Still a good time for it. I mean, February is like when everyone's moving at full speed, right? We've already set our goals for the quarter, for the year, but it doesn't mean that you cannot adjust. You cannot brainstorm and reset based on what you've discovered now, right? But remember that it should come from what do you actually want, what is important to you, what motivates you, right? Or what is this whole project about? Why did you even get it started, right? Why do you want to serve people with this kind of service? Who do you want to serve, right? Those questions. Do the homework. It will show you the way. So you don't just leave something and then there is void, which is fine, by the way, but in most cases it becomes even more depressing. But this way you're like, I'm leaving this because I have something more exciting over here to look forward to. And the advice from the universe is Queen of Swords, King of Wands, and Queen of Pentacles. All the different suits, right? Like I mentioned already, there could be people coming in who can actually help you with what you want to achieve just suddenly, magically, right? You thought about this other career of yours that you may want to start up, right? And then suddenly you get just the right person to help you set it up, right? Or for some of you, this is you needing to ask for help because maybe you're just not very good at it, right? If you're very much like a high achiever, very independent, very self-sufficient, there could be stories around asking for help. And maybe this is the time for you to actually ask for help. If you're struggling, be very specific. You can specify what do you need help with, or for how long, or like this is the expert that I need, or this is the investment to get me running so I don't, hit the wall after the first week of launching this, or something like that. Like there could be a good business reason for it, right? Or even if it's mentally helping you, supporting you, that's also a good reason, right? But be clear about it, be vocal about it, at least with yourself, and that makes it lighter, the energy, and makes it easier, right? They're all suits here except for the cups, so don't get too hung up on your emotions, right? Especially if it gets heavy, right? Of course, ground yourself, bring yourself to balance and peace. This is the classic. I've maybe sounded like a broken record, but it is very important. Creating from a place of peace and balance, not from a place of some kind of a negative, low vibe space emotionally. But what's important is not to go over your emotions one by one and examine them and try to fix that. No, right now it is about creating your plan, taking action with your plan, making sure that you monetize, right? Or you bring this to fruition. If it's a personal goal, then it still has some practical result for you. And it's not just about, okay, let's, I'll do this and we'll see what happens. Like, you understand how is it changing your life for the better. Have that as a criterion in mind, as of, should I do it in this right now or not? Should I put in my energy to it or not? If you see how this adds value to your life, yes, in a good way, right? I'm not talking like everything is transactional and so manipulative. Like, no, but it should. All right. Because pentacles are not just about money, by the way, but they are about value for sure. Last but not least, message for Virgo from their personal interest. What is the message for Virgo? The main card is Hermit, which is your energy, Virgo. Clarified by Seven of Swords and Ten of Wands. Wow, some heavy energy, actually. Your person are doing a lot of soul searching. And yes, it could be inspired by you and, what you bring to the table or how you live your life. But essentially, this person is starting to see how much they've been lying to themselves and how much they've been accumulating other people's tensions and burdens of their own, taking responsibility for them, being the good soldier and like plowing through and making it work. Now they're really focusing on what they want, what their soul is asking for. So I don't really see here too much around your relationship, but I also don't sense like this is part of the burdens. Like, the burden is like overall thing. It could be, responsibilities around work or family members or friends, right? Some kind of past experiences, but it's catching up with them now, and they're starting to see it's like it's getting harder to breathe at this point, and they realize that they need to figure it out and they need to free themselves from those burdens, right? Stories start to come up. So if anything, they could use some support to bring some clarity, to bring some guidance and some light to what they are going through, right? Maybe help them brainstorm and figure things out, or get a perspective from you. But this feels like a pretty tense time, so just be gentle, you know. And if you don't feel like you can support this, like you don't really have anything to contribute, then at least give them time and space to deal with it safely, right? That's the hermit vibration, right? Okay, I hope this was good for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, bye.